Scott Welch, Muscle Insider Magazine, here at the Mutant booth, Arnold Classic 2022, with the legend Shawn Ray.
What am I supposed to say to that? Okay, I'm here. My 34th year, Scott. I've been coming to this thing since 1989. And we are coming off of a pandemic, and things are slowly starting to feel like we're getting back to normal. Of course, it's the Arnold Classic light. We're missing a few vendors. We're missing a few fans. We're missing a few athletes, obviously, especially in the men's open bodybuilding. But nonetheless, it does feel like we're getting back to normal and turning the curve. So I'm glad to be here.
Amazing. And look at the Madness All In. I'm seeing that here. You guys got sample packs over there. The response has been great. How's been the response here with the fans?
Been pretty good coming out here. They saw the advertising that we were doing. They're coming out here. They're trying to win some prizes. We had a lucky lady, Melissa, win a free trip here to the Arnold Classic experience, and she's still on Cloud 9. And I brought my baby. Hold on.
I know. This is great. This is awesome.
I brought my baby. I used to tell people that this was actually 75 pounds because that's what I thought. It's what it feels like. But it's actually 37 pounds. I found that out when I mailed it over here. And I'm in good company with some guys like Flex Wheeler, Dexter Jackson, Dennis Wolf, Kai Green, Victor Martinez, Dennis Wolf, Nick Walker. I got to keep going. Mike Francois. I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Rich Gaspari. I mean, this trophy, quite a few guys have had a very good career after winning this trophy. And of course, this was the beginning and the end of me because this is my last win. So this is my Heisman Trophy right here. And thanks to Arnold Schwarzenegger, this allowed me to purchase my very first home. So it's a very big weekend. It's an important weekend. I watched Terrence Ruffin last night win $70,000 in Classic Physique. That's what I won back in 1991. So the Arnold Classic is still giving back and creating opportunities for people. We came in last year as a last-minute sponsor to take over for a failed company that decided not to participate. We back Arnold. We back the sport. We back the athletes. And by doing that, we were able to continue to be a part of this legacy here, 34 years. And tonight they're going to be crowning a champion, potentially a returning champion. I mean, Brandon Curry looked really good. William Bonek seems to be turning the curve. I think last night everybody was off. And I think now that they've gotten a glimpse of what they look like, especially on social media, they'll do the adjustments. Tonight will be a really good matchup. And if I got to be going out on a limb, you're talking about predictions, I still love Brandon Curry's package. He's the #2 bodybuilder in the world. He's a former Olympia champion, a 3-time Arnold Classic champion. It's his title to lose.
Justin Rodriguez surprised us all with the size that he came in. What were your thoughts on Justin last night?
Yeah, Justin was probably the most improved. I'm going to set this down because I'm not that strong anymore. But yes, Justin Rodriguez made people sit up and take notice. I'm not sure if it's because the other guys were off or because he had done the work and he was that much more on. Still has some improvements to do on his midsection and his triceps, but he definitely came up from where he was.
Brett Wilkin, I mean, we all had a lot of hopes, but last night we did not see him bring what I saw with all the filters on social media, unfortunately.
Well, and that's what social media does. It can create you and it can kind of break you. It's a reality check. Listen, we all look good at home in our own gyms, under our own lighting, on our own filters, on our own photographs. But when you stand next to somebody, that's where the rubber hits the road. Listen, this guy, you can't write him off. He's on the right track. Of course, we thought he looked more magnificent by himself, which we all do. But when your medal is tested and you're standing next to seasoned professionals, that's when you kind of can see how far you have to go. He's got a little bit of ways to go. He's got to pick the right contest. He's got to pick the right time to peak. But I think that kid has everything it takes. I hope he's not discouraged.
Last year you were here and we saw Steve Kuklo in the prejudging. We thought he was going to be fighting for first and second, then we saw him pop over to third. How were your feelings on Steve Kuklo last night from what you saw this year versus last?
Yeah, well, I still think he should have been second last year, so he wasn't too far off the mark. I mean, I think the wow factor was a little bit there last year based on that lineup with Nick Walker and with Ian Valeri. But last night, he didn't have that same pop coming out of the gate. He's making up ground. And listen, we can't discount him. Everybody's had 24 hours to try out, and a lot can happen only in a matter of hours. I've seen Ronnie Coleman come from behind Jay Cutler in my last Olympian 01 to overcome Jay Cutler, who was winning by 7 points at the prejudging. So I don't want to use last night as the benchmark of what these guys are capable of. This contest is still open, a lot of room for improvements, and I guarantee you Steve Kuklo, if I was him, I would have been posing, and drying out, and if he does, he could have improve himself like he did last year.
I have to say, one of the things I love about Mutant is they've been sponsoring the Arnold for years. I mean, years. And the Olympia, FIBO, all these different shows. But it's great to see the Arnold back, and it's great to see Mutant over here. I like Andrea Shaw coming on board. I mean, that's awesome. Finally seeing some female bodybuilding getting the support here. And I know you had a real hand in that.
Yeah, I mean, Andrea's great. She's the #1 bodybuilder in the world for a reason, consecutive years. We expect to be there as she gets her hand raised when she wins her third, to be a part of that Olympia experience and her journey. She loves the products, which is another asset to us. I mean, when you believe in a product and it actually changes the way you look, other people will get on board as well. We brought back Dusty Hanshaw and, of course, Big Ron. We're doing big things over here. We'll be the final trophy presenter on the stage for the new winner of the 2022 Arnold Classic. So it's nice to be married into the sport that's giving back to so many people, but we are a big part of that. And I'm very proud to be working with Jim McMahon, of course, my boy Ian over here from Canada. And we're headed off to Peru this next week to do some more promotions for Mutant.
You got a tough life. Scott Welch, Muscle Insider Magazine here at the Mutant booth, Arnold Classic 2022.